Leo lay still in the white hospital bed. He had been there for 3 long years, trapped in a deep coma. To the world, Leo was a simple, kind man who worked a regular job and lived in a small apartment. No one knew the truth. Leo was secretly very rich. Years ago, he had made smart investments and managed his money perfectly, hiding his huge wealth behind a simple, humble life. He had planned to tell his wife Mia when the time was right, but then the accident happened. Mia sat beside him every day. She was a woman of simple means, but tremendous loyalty. Mia worked 2 cleaning jobs just to pay the rent and the hospital bills. She loved Leo completely and refused to leave his side, even though he had been unconscious for so long. They had a little girl, Lily, who was now 5 years old. Lily had Leo's eyes and Mia's determined spirit. Mia had to raise Lily alone, and it was hard. Leo's relatives knew Mia was poor. They did not understand her loyalty. They saw her as a burden, dragging their family name down. Almost every week, Leo's brother or his mother would visit, not to see Leo, but to pressure Mia. "Mia, he will never wake up," his sister-in-law would say with a cruel smile. "You are still young. You should find a new husband, one who can provide for Lily." "We know a wealthy man who is looking for a wife," his uncle would push. "You must think of Lily's future." "Leave him." Mia always refused. "Leo is my husband. I will wait for him." The family's words were sharp and hurtful. They constantly bullied her, calling her foolish and stubborn. Mia would go home and cry quietly while Lily slept, but the next morning, she would stand tall again, ready to work and care for her little family. One quiet afternoon, 3 years and 1 day after the accident, Leo woke up. It was a slow, strange process. His eyes flickered open, and he saw the familiar ceiling. He heard the beep of the machines. Mia was asleep in the chair beside him, her head resting on his hand. He could feel her warmth and hear her soft breathing. Leo realized he was awake, but he did not move. He listened. He heard the nurses talking and remembered all the terrible things his family had said over the years, the things they had said about Mia. A fierce resolve settled over him. He decided to keep his awakening a secret from everyone, even Mia, for a few days. He needed to make sure she was safe and comfortable first. Over the next 2 days, Leo pretended to still be asleep, nodding slightly when the nurses were not looking. He got a message to his private financial manager using a small, hidden device he had insisted on keeping in the room years ago. The manager was sworn to secrecy. Leo gave him 2 immediate anonymous orders. First, an anonymous huge payment was made to Mia's bank account, enough to pay off all her bills, the rent for 2 years, and Leo's hospital costs. Second, his manager sent a sharp legal letter to all of Leo's relatives. The letter warned them to stop harassing Mia immediately and threatened legal action if they ever spoke a cruel word to her again. The change in Mia's life was sudden and dramatic. The next day, the hospital told her all the bills were paid. The landlord called and said the rent was covered, and his relatives, suddenly terrified, stopped calling and visiting. Mia was confused but filled with grateful tears. "It must be a miracle," she whispered to Leo's still form, holding his hand tightly. "Someone is watching out for us." On the morning of the 3rd day, Leo was ready. The nurses had checked his health and confirmed his recovery. Mia arrived, tired but smiling, with Lily skipping beside her, clutching a worn teddy bear. Mia sat down and started telling Leo about Lily's new drawing. "She drew a man and a woman and a princess," Mia said, stroking Leo's arm. "That's us, Leo. Lily says you're the king." Leo took a deep breath. He squeezed her hand. Mia looked up, startled. Leo's eyes were open and focused on her. Mia gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. "Leo." "Oh my God, Leo." Lily stopped playing and stared. "Daddy," she whispered. "Hello, my queen," Leo said, his voice rusty but full of love. "It's me." After the doctors confirmed the miracle, Leo asked for privacy with his family. As Mia held him and cried tears of pure happiness, Leo held her close and explained everything. "Mia," he said softly, "I woke up a few days ago, but I needed to protect you first. I know you've been through so much. I didn't want you to be poor anymore." He then looked at her seriously. "Before the accident, I was hiding a secret. I am not a poor man, Mia. I am very rich. The money that just arrived in your account and all your bills, that came from me." Mia stared at him, unable to speak. The man she had defended and waited for, the man everyone called worthless, was a millionaire. Leo smiled. This whole time, you loved me, not my wallet. You are the most loyal, wonderful person in the world." Lily climbed onto the bed, cuddling close to her parents. Leo held his wife and daughter, realizing that 3 years in the dark had been a small price to pay for the light he now held in his arms. The family was whole, rich in money, and even richer in love.